Hello, people. Good evening, everyone. Guys, welcome you back to our platform wherein we experts guide people to have their bright careers and successful lives. Guys, I thought of coming online to discuss something which can be very helpful to you if you are about to lead a team. So आज का टॉपिक एक ऐसा है, if you have some 4 to 5 years of experience in an organization, then this will be very helpful for you, because as soon as you complete 4 to 5 or 3 to 4 years of an experience in the particular organization, then comes a phase wherein you get people who can work in your team. Till then you are somewhat working with some seniors, and this would be the phase wherein some juniors will come under you. So there is something, guys, wherein you need to see that as soon as you step here, you have to ensure that you are a good leader. There's so much talks about being a good leader and being a good boss, right? There are few things that can help you become a better person, a better leader. So aaj we will talk about one of those things, okay, which would help you. So guys, first of all, have you ever heard about a word empowerment? I'm sure that you all know it. It's a literal meaning that empowerment is something wherein you empower people to take their own decisions, to take their own actions, to you do not micromanage and minute manage them. That is what basically empowerment means. So how does it help at work, people? Okay, let me tell you how will it help. Suppose if I am a boss, if I am a supervisor, and I have a
Okay, which
team
would
who
help you.
is working with,
Guys,
suppose if I have a team who is working under me, I should not ideally speaking micromanage my team. That what happens is that if I am interfering in the work of my team, somehow they will not be in a position to take those type of decisions. First of all, they will not be in a position to take those type of decisions. They would be hesitant. They would not be self-dependent, and they would be like somewhat always be dubious what action they are taking. Is that right? Is that wrong? This is one of the things. Okay, another thing is that micromanagement, if you're not empowering your people, if you're not empowering your team to take decisions on their own, if you're closely monitoring them, if you're not allowing to take the decisions on their own, like if you're monitoring their system, what they are doing throughout the day, if you're not showing that confidence in them, then ultimately they would turn up to be the employees who would just look for the clock as soon as it struck 6 or 7 p.m. They would just try to wind up their work. They will not take that ownership. They will not take that ownership because you are not letting them, you're not allowing them to take that ownership by closely monitoring their work, by closely monitoring and observing their breaks. As long as they are being productive, they are going ahead and doing the task as expected, as far as their efficiency is maintained, let them take their own decisions at work. And before empowering people, before empowering your team, you have to ensure that you provide them proper resources, you provide them proper training, and then go ahead and empower them, give them proper training, then conduct meetings with them. Okay, let me give you an example. I have worked with many people. Many people used to approach me. I, being a part of HR, have dealt with many things. There are a kind of people wherein when the team was working, a person used to roam behind them. It's also a kind of managing things about to see how the things are going, so he used to like very closely monitor the monitors and what people are doing, what they are doing. So what it used to lead to is that the people who are actually working, they used to be under stress, and at the same time they used to be like, as this person, a manager who is managing them so closely, they also used to ensure that as soon as the break time comes, they also manage their breaks very closely. And when the actual need of help comes to the when there is the actually need of when people should help the team, then they somewhat hesitate to come ahead, because the manager is not supportive to them. He's very constantly monitoring the work. At the same time, they will not feel that confident to see what action needs to be done. So there was this type of manager, and his teammates were somewhat like, okay, then that they were not that like, they were productive, but they were not so happy, to speak truth. And as a leader, it is your responsibility, guys. It's just not related to your work, it's not related to your office. It's ultimately, as a leader, it's ultimately turns out to your responsibility that the people who are working with you, they are in good space of mind. Because once someone is in good space of mind, he would think well, he would perform well, his productivity would be good, his efficiency would be good, he would come up with all different thoughts, like he will come up with all the ideas wherein which can be more supportive to the project. So you have to empower the people. First of all, you have to empower करने से उनका confidence बढ़ेगा. They would think about the organization, they will take the ownership of the things. You won't have to then follow up with the people about task hua kya. They themselves will have that responsibility. Itna karna hai. If some more things are supposed to be done from their end, then they would be like, they would think, they would take the ownership और वहां पर उन लोग खुद ही करेंगे. So that is what empower does. At the same time, right? So there was one more manager. There was one more manager, and now we are talking. This is the person how people can empower. This particular manager was very particular about the trainings that he used to provide the people. And once the training is provided, he used to be like, he used to see what people are, how they are doing. And later on, he used to empower people to take their own decisions. And until and unless there is a dire need, there is a great need of the interference of the manager, she wouldn't, in fact, she was a lady. She never used to interfere. And she was like, damn good. His team always performed well. His team always performed well. His team he was empowering people so much that people used to work very well, and they used to take decisions. And every teammate of the particular team was a good performer. So these are the things, guys. If you empower people, there was again a manager who used to empower people so much that take their own decisions, take their own time. The people in the team used to feel so much of ownership of what they used to do that if required, they were like, without saying anything, they used to feel like ownership, and they used to execute the task. Before executing the task, they never left the office. That is what empowerment does, people. So if you are in that particular phase जहाँ पर 3 या 4 साल का experience आ गया है, wherein you are getting some people working under you, you try to empower them, you try to train them properly. उसके बाद उनको empower करने की कोशिश करो. Give them tasks, make them feel confident. Do not micromanage. That is one of the best practices that a person can ever do. But at the same time, you have to ensure that what all things they are doing by end of the day, the training is properly provided to them, and they do not make any errors there. But overall चीजें है, empower them because they will feel confident. उससे productivity बढ़ेगी, उससे efficiency बढ़ेगी, उससे person will be in good state of mind, he will have a good family life, all things would be properly managed. And as soon as you closely monitor them, what they are doing, what not they are doing, then ultimately the person would be in a dilemma, what to do, what not to do. He will not even have that confidence. He will keep approaching you for the things which actually he can easily sort at his end itself. So let this not be the situation, people. Okay. So I just thought of talking about this thing because I happened to come through one of the examples of this kind of people, what this kind of person today, who is actually really empowering and his team is really doing good. So I thought of sharing this particular idea to the people who are actually in our group, who so that they can also apply this and apply these things right from the early age, because there are people who are not aware of these things. Rather than being a good person, they are just a good boss. You don't be the one, people. तो उसके लिए मैं सोचा कि चलो आते हैं, let's talk, let's tell the people to be good leaders and try to empower people as much as possible. So this is what I wanted to share, people. Okay. Meanwhile, before wrapping up, tomorrow I will be starting a session. I would be starting a session again for a particular platform for the people who are exploring for jobs. And this particular session, in this particular session, it would be like I would be working to prepare their personality for an interview. I would be rolling the details in our WhatsApp group. I'm not sure. I would roll out the dates and time. A date is tomorrow. I would roll out the time as soon I am free tomorrow, but it would be tomorrow, day after tomorrow, and it would be a 3-day session actually. So I would roll out the timing. It's somewhere between 4 or 5. I think I would be free that time. I would just conduct these particular sessions. So just be attentive on the WhatsApp group. I will keep you updated about the particular timing there. So let's see, that would again be a good session. And let's close this particular session on a positive note that empower the people. If you are becoming the manager and you would have good results, the people will be happy and you will be happy. So that's it, people. That is what I wanted to share today. Take care. Bye bye. I will see you somewhere